Hi YouTube. So today is the very last day of my rotation. I cannot believe it. 4 weeks have flown by. So today's the last day of my emergency medicine first rotation of my third year. And I think I last updated on the first 2 weeks. And third and fourth week kind of are combined because we had kind of a vacation. My physician took a few days off, and so we had a few days off as well. And so I just worked a few days last week and a few days this week. And last weekend we spent it at both of them are good friends of ours. And so we flew out there. It was in a totally different state, and it was just gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this wedding was beautiful. But we flew out Thursday. Oh, okay, so get this. So I think from last time I left off, Monday, I wasn't feeling the greatest. I'm kind of getting a sore throat. I was like, oh, I bet I'm just getting a cold. I've been working crazy hours and not sleeping very much, so I'm sure my immune system is garbage. And just being around sick people, which I'm not used to. And I kind of jinxed myself because, 2 weeks ago or something, we had seen a few patients with strep throat, and I was like, oh, I never get strep throat. Oh, I've only had it once in my life, and that was the only time I was on antibiotics and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I had it coming. Anyways, Monday night, kind of scratchy throat, didn't feel the greatest. Tuesday, woke up not feeling so great, but still went into work, and I felt a lot better working because once I'm busy and I have my mind off it, it's not so bad. Then Wednesday morning, the morning I was supposed to drive back home, I felt awful. Oh my goodness. I didn't even think take my temperature, but I'm sure it was that I was having a fever that I just felt. I don't know how to describe it other than I just felt awful. My whole body was just blah. And my lymph nodes were so swollen, like I couldn't even swallow. And I don't know how I made it home, but somehow I drove home in one piece. And then got home and just had a horrible night Wednesday night. And finally I was like, don't we need to go to urgent care? So he brought me there as soon as they opened. I was like the first patient in the door. And sure enough, I had strep throat. So, and we were leaving to go on a plane in like 4 hours. I was like, this is awesome. But I survived, and oh my goodness. And it was fine. It was strep throat, took antibiotics, and it was done. Felt great like 24 hours later. So that's pretty good. Anyways, that was really awesome. So now I will never speak again of, oh, I never have this or I never have that. I've learned my lesson. Then came back from the wedding, and we had an early flight and didn't get much sleep anyways. And I was just exhausted, I think, from the first 2 weeks of crazy hours, not sleeping very much. And I took like 4 naps on Sunday, slept from midnight to noon on Monday. Then I slept a lot on Tuesday, and then I drove back here on Wednesday and just had Thursday and Friday. And yesterday was my last day in the emergency department, and I was so sad. But saw lots of patients, and it was a good last day. However, it was like my first experience of dealing with like healthcare issues and just the discrepancies and issues that healthcare has. Because we had a patient who was needing to be transferred. However, this one insurance won't cover it, but I don't know. I won't get into details. But and so they were almost like in tears, just worrying about how to pay for it. And I mean, they needed to be transferred, so they shouldn't, like, you can't worry about that now. I don't know. It's just. And then the room right next to this patient was another patient who we had seen multiple times, would come in for dinner, for food. It was kind of evident, but, they show up and they want to be seen, so of course you see them in the ER. And it was just hard, seeing someone, one person who had served our country and had insurance through that, and the difficulties they were experiencing, and then someone else who I would consider abusing the system, who didn't blink an eye at the worry that he wasn't going to have to pay. It was upsetting, and I don't know, I guess being on this end of things, you just kind of put it in your back of your mind and think, yep, I will consider this in the future with voting and possible change and being active in that. But for the time being, there's not much you can do, which is sad. Anyways, that was my last day. It was good for me to see that though. And then today, I followed around a school nurse, which was really exciting, which I think is exciting, which maybe other people wouldn't, but I had a wonderful day. And we started off, it was in a smaller town, so she kind of covers elementary, middle school, high school, everything. So I got to see all the schools, which was cool, and meet a bunch of great people. And I don't know, I just sat in there and I loved it. She let me see all the kiddos that came in with certain things and let me check them over, and it was just fun. So even if it was like basic things like a blister or sick to their stomach or their eye was hurting or, just different things. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was a good day. And I got to, well, I wasn't expecting this, but very first thing in the day, I went to the high school and she kind of helps teach a class, and she had me talk to the class. She's like, oh, okay, if you don't mind, just say a few things, about your background and what medical school, or how you got to medical school and what you're doing now and like what your hopes are for the future and all that. So I went up there and kind of gave my spiel, and I was a little bit nervous, but I think it went well. She said I was a pretty good speaker, so I hope I didn't bore those poor kids, but that was actually kind of fun, and they had questions about it, and I don't know. So that was the wrapping up of my 4 weeks here, and now I am just packing up. I thought I would do this quick because I need to pack up, and I get to head home, and I get to see John tonight, so I'm really excited. And then my next rotation starts on Monday, so I need to go home and prepare for that and finish up all the loose ends here, and that's all. So anyways, hope you guys are doing well. I'll probably do another one Sunday nights, outlining my next rotation, which is neurology. So, and John finished up his OB-GYN rotation today. He took his test today. So, ugh. And it's so frustrating because before, when John and I were in the same classes, we obviously could discuss it after the test was done because we weren't, we were just able to discuss it. And now it's hard because we can't talk about his test because I have to take it in a few months, and I don't know if it's going to be the same or different or whatnot. But yeah, I don't want to ask about it or talk about it, and he doesn't want to say anything about it. It's to be fair and everything, and it's just hard. I talked to him, he's like, oh, it's over. I was like, okay. That's about all we can say. So, anyways, I will see you guys in a few days. Hope everyone's doing well.